Rain hammered against the windows of St. Mary's Medical Center as Ethan Carter hurried through the automatic doors, his 6-year-old daughter Lily clinging tightly to his hand. Ethan was 34 years old, a widowed single father who worked long hours as a maintenance technician. His clothes were always clean but worn, his shoes scuffed from years of hard work. Every dollar he earned went toward rent, food, and Lily's education. Despite life's hardships, Ethan never complained. His greatest pride wasn't his job. It was being Lily's dad. "Daddy," Lily whispered as they entered the hospital lobby, "can we still visit Grandma Rose after this?" Ethan smiled. "Of course. She'll be waiting for us with those chocolate cookies." Lily giggled. They were at the hospital because Ethan had twisted his ankle fixing a broken elevator. His supervisor insisted he get it examined. After checking in, Ethan noticed unusual activity near the rehabilitation wing. Luxury cars lined the entrance. Security guards stood outside. Reporters crowded behind barriers. One nurse whispered to another, "That's the Harrison family. The billionaire investors. Yes. Their daughter hasn't walked in almost 4 years." Ethan paid little attention. Rich families had problems too. He simply hoped the doctors would finish quickly so he could return to work. Across the hall sat 9-year-old Emily Harrison. She stared silently out the window. Her wheelchair faced the rain. She hadn't smiled in months. Once an energetic gymnast, Emily had been injured in a devastating car accident that claimed her father's younger brother. Her spine had been damaged. Since then, some of the world's most famous specialists had examined her. Doctors from America, Germany, Japan, Switzerland. Millions of dollars had been spent. Experimental treatments, private rehabilitation centers, advanced robotic therapy. Nothing worked. Every expert eventually gave the same heartbreaking answer. "I'm sorry." Emily's mother, Victoria Harrison, had nearly lost hope. She was one of the wealthiest women in the country. She owned hotels, technology companies, and hospitals. Money had solved every problem she'd ever faced. Except this one. Watching her daughter trapped in a wheelchair destroyed her heart a little more every day. Ethan waited outside the X-ray room while Lily wandered toward the children's play area. There Emily sat alone. No toys interested her. No cartoons. No games. She simply watched other children run. Lily walked over. "Hi." Emily barely looked up. "My name is Lily." Silence. "My daddy says everyone needs a friend." Emily finally spoke. "I can't play." "Why?" "I can't walk." Lily smiled innocently. "That's okay." Emily looked confused. "We can still color." Within minutes the two girls were drawing pictures together. For the first time in weeks, Emily laughed. A soft, genuine laugh. Victoria froze. She hadn't heard that sound in months. She slowly walked closer. "What did you do?" she asked Lily. "I asked if she wanted to be my friend." Victoria felt tears fill her eyes. So simple. Later that afternoon Ethan collected Lily. As they prepared to leave, Emily quietly called out, "Bye, Lily. See you." Emily smiled again. Even the nurses noticed. One whispered, "That's the happiest she's looked all year." The next morning Ethan returned to work. He assumed he'd never see the Harrison family again. But fate had other plans. Late that evening the hospital's power system suddenly failed. Backup generators malfunctioned. Maintenance workers rushed through the building. Ethan, who serviced emergency electrical systems, received an urgent call. Within 20 minutes he arrived. Working calmly under pressure, he restored electricity before any patients were harmed. Hospital. Administrators applauded his quick thinking. Victoria witnessed everything. Unlike many executives she had met, Ethan never sought praise. After finishing the repair, he quietly packed his toolbox. Before leaving, he noticed Emily watching him. She smiled shyly. "Hi. Hello. You fixed the lights." "I guess I did. I wish someone could fix my legs." The hallway became silent. Most adults quickly changed the subject whenever Emily mentioned walking. Not Ethan. He knelt beside her wheelchair. "What happened?" Emily explained the accident. She didn't cry. She simply accepted it. Ethan listened carefully. When she finished, he asked one unexpected question. "What did you love doing before?" Emily's eyes brightened. "Dancing." "What kind?" "Ballet." Ethan smiled. "My Lily loves dancing too." Emily looked toward the therapy room. "I still dream about it." Victoria watched from several feet away. Something about Ethan felt different. He wasn't treating Emily like a patient. He was treating her like a little girl. There was a huge difference. Days passed. Whenever Ethan visited the hospital for maintenance work, Emily looked forward to seeing him. Sometimes Lily came too. The girls colored together, read books, played board games, laughed endlessly. Hospital staff noticed remarkable emotional changes. Emily began eating better, sleeping better, speaking more. Although she still couldn't walk, hope slowly returned to her eyes. One afternoon Ethan found Emily staring at children practicing physical therapy. "They're lucky," she whispered. Ethan thought carefully. Then he noticed something no specialist seemed interested in. Emily wasn't watching their legs. She was watching their faces. Their confidence. Their joy. That night Ethan searched through old rehabilitation books borrowed from the public library. He wasn't a doctor. He wasn't a scientist. But years repairing machines had taught him one valuable lesson. Sometimes people focused so much on replacing broken parts, they forgot to reconnect what still worked. He wondered whether Emily had stopped believing her body could move, not because of weakness alone, but because years of disappointment had taught her to fear trying. It wasn't a medical diagnosis. It was simply a thought. And perhaps, hope itself could become part of healing. Ethan closed the final book and whispered, "Maybe everyone has been asking the wrong question." Little did he know, everything was about to change.